Hey, I'm live, and it's a wonderful life. It is a wonderful life. Found this in the garage. Love, love, love this. Bought this down in like Cancun or something like that years ago. Forgot I had it. It's got to go up somewhere in my studio. There has to be room somewhere. I'm thinking, what do you think? Right about there, above the door. That's where it's going. Next time you see this studio, it'll be up there above the door. It's going up there today. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm using my Max I Love You as big as the sky, more than turkey bacon, and all the way to Canada mug. It's me and Max when he was a munchkie. See him? Oh my God, I love that boy. Being a grandmother is the best thing on the planet. Truly. I think I've mentioned before that I always wanted to be a mom. I mean, who doesn't? What girl doesn't? Well, I guess some girls don't want to be moms. But I mean, I had dolls. I thought it would be good to be a mom. But what I really wanted was to be a grandma. I had this awesome grandma. And I know it won't come as any surprise to you that the grandma I'm speaking of was my mother Fritzy's grandma. I mean, mother. My grandma Ida, she was a Russian babushka. She was she came to America when she was a young woman, met my grandfather and married him. He was also Russian. But she never really, even though they, were both learned English and both went to school here and had businesses here and had friends here, she was always a babushka. I mean, she wasn't fat exactly, but she was like soft. You know what I mean? It's like I used to say that if you climbed up in Grandma Ida's lap, you would just be enveloped. But I think it was as much enveloped in her love as anything else. And you see these? They came directly from her. No kidding. Grandma Ida would smile and her whole face would cave in. True story that. Oh, I wish they'd lived to meet Max. They would have loved Max. So, because of Grandma Ida, I grew up always wanting to be a grandma. And hello, I got my wish. Good morning, girls. I got my wish. I got this guy. I am still convinced that my daughter and son-in-law did this just for me as a present. Before he was even born, I think I might have shared this with some of you before. There's a Yiddish word that's awesome, and I don't think there's any English equivalent for it. It actually means the family of my family. So it's the extended family that you get when someone gets married. And those people are called, okay, this is an argument among Jews. People pronounce it differently, but I grew up learning it to be machatenim. So my son-in-law's mother is my machatenim. My son-in-law's family is my machatenim. They're the family of my family, which makes them my family. Why was I telling you this? See, you can't go on like this, Sandy. You have to stop and finish a sentence. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is before Max was born, I became friendly with my machatenim, with my son-in-law's mother. And one day, when we knew Donnie was pregnant and we were going to be grandparents, me for the first time, we took this little trip together, just a day trip, and we went shopping. And because both of our children are musical, we bought him a real guitar, but only about this big. So cute. I have pictures of him playing it when he was little, but it was a real guitar. And she said, I never wanted to be called grandma. And I said, wow, I always did. She said, yeah, but since my name is Anne, I think I'm going to be Gran. And I thought about that and I thought, that's brilliant. Because if you're Gran, that makes me Grandy. And it stuck. So for almost 11 years now, I've been Grandye, Grandy. And someone said to me, no, 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 you don't get to pick. You don't get to decide what your grandchildren will call you. They just do it, just kind of comes out, whatever they say. I said, nope, my grandchild is going to want to call me Grandy. In fact, everyone is going to want to call me Grandy because it's such a cool name. So I literally have hundreds of people in my life who just know me as Grandy. That's all. They just call me Grandy. That's who I am. Oh, Opa, I'm sorry. I wish I could share with you. Opa is desperately missing her little grandbaby, and we got prayers coming for you, kiddo. Prayers on the way. So I became Grandy even before Max was born, and it stuck. Consequently, this little guy, I'm still his Grandy. And it was 10 years ago. Right now, I was in the hospital room with my daughter and son-in-law waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. We'd already been in the hospital for over 24 hours. This guy was so slow to show. Poor Donnie and Dan were just dancing, literally dancing around the hospital room, trying to get that baby to come. So I love this part. He was born on that's January 11th, 2011, 11111 at 11. I tried to get the doctor to hurry up and get that baby born at 11:11. Wouldn't that have been cool? Then he would have been born at 111111111. But it didn't happen. He was born at 11111118. He was born at 11:18 tonight, 10 years ago. But 18 is a lucky number too. So I figure this kid's got it all going on, and he's so loved. He is so loved. It's crazy. Yep. So he is a 11111. He's a number one kid. That's all. That's all I can say. Oh, my grandkids are going to call me Honey and my husband Bear. Then they can say I'm going to Honey Bear's house. Love that, Henry. That's brilliant. How come it says your name today instead of your husband's name? Interesting. Interesting. It seems like somebody has a new account or something. Oh, cheers, kids. Anyway, my grandson is 10 years old today. He's double digits. And I don't know about in your family, but in our family, that is a big deal. There used to be a restaurant in Oklahoma called Grandy, a chicken place. Well, I make good chicken soup. I mean, hey. It is a crazy world, but you know what? We're doing okay, right? We're doing okay. Henry's logged into a different device because now I can see who you are. So, since we're talking about kids and babies and grandkids and stuff, I should tell you that it is National Milk Day. National Milk Day, not to be confused with International or World Milk Day, which is all about feeding the hungry and like that. Milk Day is actually a celebration of milk because in 1878, my friends, was the first time that milk was delivered in glass bottles and sterilized glass bottles. And somebody bothered to deliver milk that was safe for people to drink, or at least safer. So we celebrate that now by having Milk Day. And there's a couple of milk things I want to talk about. I think milk is really interesting. Remember you had to have milk when you were a kid, and then you couldn't have it when you were adult because it wasn't good for. I think if you like milk, have milk. Apparently, the average person in the United States has 18 gallons of milk a year. I'm not a big milk drinker, but occasionally in cereal, in recipes, And I guess it all adds up because the average is 18 gallons a year. So, you ready for some? You know how milk used to like spoil like in less than a week in your refrigerator, and that was so annoying, right? And then suddenly, I don't know about you, but the Kroger brand, which is Ralph's where I live, it lasts for like a month in your refrigerator, milk. When I saw that, I started actually getting kind of worried, like, what could they be putting in here that's making it last so long? So, in my studies of milk, which I have done for you in great detail this morning, there is a site, by the way, I want to share with you. You might want to write this down. It's cnet.com, cnet.com. I checked it out. It's got like good ratings and supposedly unbiased and truth telling and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, according to cnet.com, they have this whole thing on how to get your food to last longer. And they say that if as soon as you open your milk, you put in either salt or baking soda, it will last, I forget, up to 2 weeks longer. It didn't say how much. Maybe I didn't read far enough, but that would explain why now there are some brands that last longer. They probably have either salt or something else in them to have that happen. Fairlife milk is filtered and lactose free, and it lasts forever. That would make me a little scary. Wow. Okay, Oprah doesn't drink milk. She hates milk. Only 2 of my 8 kids like it. Isn't that interesting? Because I don't dislike milk. I just remember hearing that adults weren't supposed to have it, so I just kind of stopped. Henry used to work at a creamery for a little while. Fresh milk, cheese, ice cream, eggnog. Wow. They would milk at 5:30 a.m. and process the same day. Oh, fresh would be so good, wouldn't it? Speaking of processing, somebody, and I don't know who, figured out some ridiculous process to make cheese out of donkey milk, thinking that that was going to be great in low-income areas, you know, in first world countries, third world countries where they had still, you know, used donkeys. And someone figured out how to make cheese out of donkey milk, which before was impossible. It's called poulet, or Pule. And it's like $600 a kilogram. It's crazy expensive. It's apparently the most expensive cheese in the world. Personally, the thought of eating donkey cheese just doesn't sound right to me. You know what I mean? Can we talk about milk more? Do you mind? Opa says, I cook with it, and if you see me drinking milk, I've been kidnapped. I love having you here with me in the morning. I know there are more of you here. Say good morning. What does it hurt? Type the letters, good morning. I love to know that you're here. Oh, fresh butter. Land O'Lakes butter. I grew up in the Chicago area. We had Land O'Lakes butter. And as a kid, I used to take the butter and I used to peel it like a banana, and I would eat sticks of butter. Oh, I loved fresh butter. Kerry something butter. Kerry butter. I think it's just called Kerry butter. Maybe an Irish butter. Oh, so good. I love good butter. Milk. It is possible, they think, that a human could exist on just milk, which would make it a perfect food, wouldn't it? Milk is clear. It's the fat content that makes it white. Did you ever notice that when you have fat-free milk, it's like a whole different color than whole milk? Whole milk is like thicker and whiter. It's the fat. It's the fat. Speaking of which, whale milk is 30 to 50% fat, and it has the consistency of toothpaste. There you go. How about that? Udder Run milk is not my favorite, but it's a hot item at the creamery. Yeah, I think I would just I'll take it out of the bottle. Thank you. I like the idea of sterilized. Back in the old days, by the way, if you were having a cup of tea, you were considered wealthy if you put your milk in after the tea. Why is that, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you. Because the way it used to be is the porcelain, if you didn't have expensive porcelain and you poured hot tea in it, it would break your porcelain. It would just kind of like implode, explode, whatever. So if you were wealthy, it meant you had expensive porcelain and you could put the hot liquid in first. There you go. It's good to know, isn't it? Let's see. In Pennsylvania, milk cartons are to be used only for milk. And if you are caught using a milk carton, like to build furniture or whatever, if you're caught using a milk carton for any unauthorized purpose, which would be anything except milk, you can be fined up to $300 and put into jail for up to 90 days. Oh, it sounds harsh for milk cartoning, doesn't it? Another little known fact. In ancient Russia, they used to put a frog into the big milk jug to keep it from going sour. Now, it sounds disgusting. Personally, I think it is disgusting. But apparently, that idea got scientists going, and they came up with a bunch of ideas for new antibiotics based on what it is about the frog that keeps the milk from getting sour. Pretty interesting, huh? Okay, we have just moved in the comments aisle from pasteurized milk to don't rip the tags off your mattress or your pillows. Love that, because it says it's against the law. Oh, I get it. It's like the milk cartons. Yes. Okay, so much for milk. Enjoy your milk today, please. It's National Milk Day. Woohoo! It's also Skipping Puddles and Splash Your Friends Day. Doesn't that sound like fun? I would do that. I would totally do that. I used to take my kids out when it rained to splash in puddles, and particularly mud puddles. And then we'd just shower off or take baths. But oh man, those were the days. I loved when my kids were munchkins. We used to get into so much mischief with me as the mischief leader. Yeah, I was a fun mom. We used to get dirty a lot. Yeah, those were the days. I call it, by the way, sophisticated immaturity. And I invite all of you to play with me. That's how I describe it. It's not adulting. Adulting is boring. Well, okay, sometimes it's nice to be an adult. There are times when I have to put on my adult hat and be an adult. But most of the time, I just want to be silly and happy and have a good time. And it's called sophisticated immaturity. You have seen me at both ends of the spectrum here. And it is my pleasure to honestly let you know who I am. What else? It's clean off your desk day. If I was going to clean off my desk, I'd probably just put it all into a great big box and then figure out a later time when I could go through it. Wonder if you could see my desk. Oh, no, it's not that messy. There's my desk. It's pretty clean right now. I guess I cleaned it off last night before I went to bed. That was pretty clever on my part, huh? But I like a messy desk. It means you're busy. Oh, and you should also know that I have way more than one work area in this house. I have like 6 work areas in this house, and then frequently take over a table or a countertop somewhere. I like to spread it all out. You know what I mean? Work everywhere, play everywhere, draw everywhere. On this day in 1949, the year of my birth, it snowed in Los Angeles. That's how bizarre it is for us to get snow. Unlike you guys who are with me, because I know it snows where you are, not here. Not here. We don't get snow. We get this 70s and 80s and until the summer, and then we get 110, 120. But it's awesome. I love the heat. I love the warm. Happy birthday to Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is like considered to be the most successful R&B female singer writer ever. I guess she sold like 50 million albums plus like 15 million singles. I don't know. But here's what I can tell you. I can't name a single song of hers, although I'm sure I'd recognize a lot of them. But I have seen her in concert 3 times, and she is amazing. I mean, she puts on a show like you cannot believe. Mary J. Blige, happy birthday. And for all you Hamilton lovers, it is actually the original Hamilton's birthday today. And if he hadn't been born, we wouldn't have had the show. Broadway would not have been as big of a big deal. And people all across the world would not have been able to enjoy the musical story of Hamilton. So happy birthday to Hamilton. Yeah. Okay, we went way over today, and I got to go celebrate Max's birthday with him. So, Fritzy report. They said they had nothing to report. She didn't want to talk on the phone yesterday or look at the portal, but they sent me a picture of her sitting up in a chair getting ready for dinner, and she looked just like any normal 97-year-old, whatever a normal 97-year-old looked like. So the Fritzy report, once again, was good. The day is going to be fantastic. Remember, whatever's going on has to go on in order to get to the next point. So go with the flow, stand up for what you believe in, be the person that you want to hang out with. Here you go. A sip and a smile. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Don't you forget, you be here, okay? Bye-bye.